and a 2 and a 1. A 1, 1. Hey, hold on. Run me back. Run me back. Run. Hey, hold on. Run that back. We're gonna do something. With that. Hold on. Run that back. Where's that start? Where's that start at? Running back. Okay. What we about to do? Okay, running back. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we have to start. We have to begin. Hey, there we go. Hey, turn me up. Turn the music down. Turn me up. Hey. There we go. Go. There we go. Wow. We ain't dropping no frames. We ain't dropping no frames. No frames today. No frames dropping today. Yeah. And you know what? Ow. You know what? I don't know what. I'm not stolen. I'm just having a good day. Good night. I'm having a good day. Are you having a good day? This my jam. This my ooh. I don't have to be good at singing to sing. I just have to feel what I feel. Can you feel what you feel? I'm just freestyling real bad, a real good, a real sad, a real mad, cause I'm getting real aggressive with my positivity. Aggressive positivity, yeah! Aggressive positivity, album coming out. Never. Oh, we're right up for lies, yo. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. Well, now, every time I talk now, like, people are like, oh, you have a YouTube voice. And I'm like, this is how I talk, y'all. This is how I talk. Let me turn it down. This is how I talk. And like, people just be like, oh my God, you have the YouTube voice. And I'm just like, girl, what voice? I'm talking like myself. I don't know. It's just like, I have a slight stutter. I have ADHD, neurodivergent. I have an invisible disability. I have multiple things that are working against me. And so sometimes it's just easier to like, I don't know, maybe it's just the way like I enunciate or whatever. But sometimes it's like, to avoid like stuttering or slurring words or like, you know, just my brain gets confused sometimes. I just like say things in a way that makes sense for my brain. Now, if that's a YouTuber voice, I guess, but like, I don't think it's a YouTuber voice, y'all. I know. Personally, couldn't be me. All right, so let's go and get to gaming. As I said, if you're in the Discord, you saw this in my announcements earlier, but today's is going to be a short stream, mainly because I'm highly disinterested in Destiny at the moment, but also, yeah, I'm highly disinterested in Destiny at the moment. Honestly, that's like the main thing. I mean, there's some other things I play, but I think right now, like, to avoid showing up in a way that's like not positive or that's just, you know, sometimes you have ideas and everything doesn't have to be 100, percent of the time, but like to avoid like ever even like coming close to showing up in a bad mood or showing up in a space that's like harmful to other people, I'd rather just not stream. And also, if folks remember the announcement we did, where is it? Can I switch to it? No, legitimately, can I switch to it? Where is it? Where did it go? That's the Moesha stream. No, that's the Pokemon screen. Yo, I have so many screens that like if y'all just triggered them, I would actually use them. But y'all, I think so. I also like the like kind of hiddenness that there's certain things like you all just won't know that I have set up until like you just try things out. But that's unfortunate. I think I deleted it, which would be like very silly. Or no, I deleted it because I was about to say, did I embed it in this scene? Again, I'm looking through my LBS, but no, I deleted it. Anyways, but y'all were there. So for folks who were there for the stream where we talked about my shift and goals, that I no longer want to be a streamer. I don't like streaming. Is there a point where that might change? Sure. Again, I don't want to rehash it because and again, that's what I appreciate about. That's what I appreciate about times when actually I'm able to get good takes of like content. But we recorded it. It's on the website now, and so I forgot what we called it, but it's like something about like my shift in content or whatever, or my content going forward, something like that. And yeah, just essentially it's just the fact that like it took a year and a half, almost 2 years, but I found out about myself. I don't want to be a streamer. I don't like streaming. I enjoy having conversations with you all, getting live reactions, having conversations, all the things we talk about, and that's why I will continue to stream. But that's why we cut it down from trying to do like 4 or 5 streams a week to just like focusing on content. Because again, I'm streaming so much that like I'm missing out on creating content. I miss out on creating content. I miss key moments in the community where I want to add my voice to the conversation, or I think like people are super negative. I want to add a different perspective to it, or like I think people are like overly optimistic and I want to kind of add some like more like sobering analysis to it. You know, like I kind of see our channel as that like force, if you will. I've been rewatching a bunch of Star Wars, but kind of thinking about that force to kind of like equalize. Maybe that's like overly ambitious or like arrogant to say, but like I do feel like our community that we're building here can be part of that like common sense, if you will. So I don't know, common sense yeah, I guess where like we can like be, feel our feelings. Like if Bungie does something we don't like, we can be frustrated, we can be annoyed, we can be upset, but like we're not like moving from a place of those emotions. We're moving from a place of like, I feel my frustration towards Bungie, and like I feel like I've modeled that, right? I feel my frustration towards Bungie, and my frustration towards the community at different moments, and I create a video, I create content, and I script it out that like I'm not just like doing something in the same day. If it's not like, here's how to get this exotic, or here's how to do this walkthrough, most times I'm not doing it in the same day. I'll script it, I'll write like my raw feelings while I feel them, and then come back to it later. And then like the end product of what you all see on the channel is like several scripts in terms of like me trying to feel like, you know what, I'm mad at the PvP community right now, so let me feel those feelings, but then come back at it in a point where like I'm more sober-minded about like how to approach the conversation, or like I'm mad at the PvE side of the community, or I'm mad at Bungie, or I'm mad at this creator who did this thing which I thought was like very toxic. And again, there's nothing wrong. It's a very common like tool that gets used in like therapy, right? If you're not going to therapy, definitely go to therapy if you can afford it. If you can't afford therapy, there's a lot of free online sources. Again, I'm very open about talking about mental health here, but like definitely like have people that you can talk to. I mean, having friends, is good. Having a partner, all that good stuff is good to talk to. But like sometimes you just need like a literal like licensed person to talk with, and there's a bunch of like online resources. Speaking of which, let me write a note down. So we do have a resource for mental health in our Discord, but I should make it a stream command. So stream command mental health. Okay, cool. That's why we always keep notepads around, so we can make all the good notes. So yeah, being in a space where it's just like, having the time to let yourself process something, right? Sometimes like, I don't know, a car is falling on somebody, and yes, in that moment you need to like react and like save the person from the car falling on them, or whatever the immediate scenario is, a lot of times, you know, you can absolutely afford to like take a breather and look at the situation from a different point of view. And so that's what we try and do with our channel, and that's what I try and model for folks, and that's why I hope I continuously improve and get better at, because I'm not perfect at it, but it's something I do think is a skill set of mine that, you know, we always want to get better at. And also for folks who, I don't really talk about my job that often, because like I like to leave work stuff at work, but for folks who know what I do and have been on the streams where I talk about my job, you know, that's a big part of my job, right? It's like I have to show up and like manage a lot of times difficult, challenging like situations for people who are in genuine distress in their lives, and having to like feel those feelings. Like I'm a very empathetic person, and it feels bad, you know, seeing people go through situations. And so not necessarily in the pursuit of being objective, but just finding a space to like approach the situation clear-headed, so that we can, me, my team, my company, can be able to provide that person, or if they're representing an organization, that small organization, provide them with like the resourcing and help you can offer them, right? Because sometimes you're not the best. I'm sorry to go on this rant real quick, but sometimes you're not the best person to like give someone support, and like being able to acknowledge that's a real thing. Baby girl, you know, I'm not the person, you know, I'm not the right person for this, right? Or whatever the case may be. And so yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just like we'll kind of see what happens in time with the channel. But in terms of, yeah, content, not a streamer, have relinquished that title and that dream, and I'm a content creator. I truly believe that, and I believe as part of my life's purpose is great content. And streaming is a great way to interact with y'all, but like, you know, especially with the way Bungie's going right now, there's just don't have an expectation that I'm going to stream a lot, given where things are going. All right, so let's go to the helm. We're only, again, short stream, and we already took a good bit of time ranting. What we're going to do is we're going to make a quick build. Quick builds. And I don't even know. Can y'all hold on real quick there, partner. Active sources only. Click that. Advanced. Everything is so like weird, bro. I don't know how this happened, but it kind of got mixed up a little bit. Scripts, automatic timer, connector dot. Bro, just let me live. Let me live. Again, once again, just. Ooh, that's cute, but also no. Horizontal layout. Anyways, okay, cool. Let's do this. Where is it? Nope. Cool. Praise be that it was actually on the right scene. Because if not, that would have been sad. Okay. So, yeah, I appreciate everyone for just hanging in there. We are quite literally doing things. Oh, praise be, it actually worked this time. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do a little bit of a quick build. I have a really solid, as you all know, I have a really solid Omnioculus build for my Hunter. We're playing Hunter today. But I want to lean back into Orpheus Rig, especially after playing the Mars Battleground Grandmaster Nightfall this yesterday. Yeah, it's just very clear that I want to be able to have something strong. So, actually, no, let's go to D2 Armor Picker. That's actually what I want to be. So, D2 Armor Picker, again, for folks who aren't familiar with the site, it's by Miyago. That's how I pronounce it. Or maybe it's pronounced Miyago. But again, they have more information on there. but just go to d2armorpicker.com and you have the opportunity to create builds. This is a great resource that a lot of people use, and yeah, just would highly encourage people. I know I've been meaning to do like a full walkthrough for folks, but yeah, just charging my head down hard. So anyways, what I've been trying to do is create a specific build. So actually, let's just do all of this at 40 so folks can kind of get the example. So what we're trying to do is when you log into the website, you won't look at all of yeah, so you have the opportunity to, I don't know why this is loud, so I'm going to turn it down for you all as well, but you have the opportunity to build out a whole deck of like whatever you want. So I have every exotic for every character, and so it gives me a lot of variety in what I want to do. And so what I wanted to specifically do is like if I wanted to do a Celestial Nighthawk build, or if I wanted to do I have too many Assassin Callus build, but you know, if I want to do Shards of Galanor build, or if I wanted to do a Triton Vice build, this is not going to be build crafting in the sense of like what pairs well with the exotic, but it's actually just going to be able to be like a sense of like what you want in terms of your stats. Now, obviously it's best for you. And again, when you hover over, it gives you a short description. And so when you are actually thinking about this, you do want to think about like, okay, if this is Triton Vice is really good for glaives and melees, you want to lean more into strength, right? Obviously for the melee abilities, so on and so forth. Obviously take that in consideration beforehand, but D2 Armor Picker is more the site to be able to like look at what you have in your kind of arsenal, so to speak, look at that and then be able to create a build specifically for that thing, right? So as I said before, we have a bunch of these builds already. Again, a lot of the builds we just save specifically on DIM because you can only save 10 builds in game, and you have unlimited, seemingly unlimited amount of builds that you can save on DIM. So what we're gonna do is go through that process so you all see it, and so you can potentially do it for yourselves. So again, go to D2 Armor Picker, pick out the armor slides that you want. As I said before, we want Orpheus Rigs. Again, I've been playing around with my Void build and want to do a little bit more deeper dive into that. So I hover it over it, it tells me what it does. I click it, and then what that does is it shows me, we'll scroll over a little bit, it shows me all the combinations that I have currently in my arsenal of everything in my vault, everything that's on my character. It shows me all the various combinations based on, when we scroll over, based on what we're trying to shoot for. So as you see right now, everything's at 40, just to show for examples. And so based on what you actually want to like build into, you can then see what available combinations you have. And so for me, one of the first things I want to do is, I don't care that it's my hunter, I'm always going to build into Rizal until the actual, you know, meta shifts or Bungie does something like super like, you know, different to what is going on with resilience. Obviously they've nerfed it a couple times, but until something changes where it's actually not important across both sides of the game, PvE and PvP, I'm going to always go 100 Rizal. So when I click 100, it automatically reduces the scaling that I can do for every other aspect of the game, right? So again, if I'm doing Orpheus Rigs, I'm really thinking about less of like Omni Oculus build, where it's just like, well, we want to have as many grenades as possible, or potentially for some folks in Omni Oculus, when they want to build more into strength, but it takes away all the other combinations, right? Because it's only showing us the combinations where it's achievable to get to 100 resilience, all right? So knowing that's our first slot, you can kind of see it, kind of not see it, depending on your contrast that you're using, but like the grayed out areas are showing which, based on what's in your vault and what's on your character, what is no longer possible for you to actually achieve is grayed out. And so you see that I have no option to do a double or triple 100 because I just don't have the armor pieces for that, which is fine. I really don't care. So we now have to think about, what do we want to build into next? Mobility, I could care less. Intellect, I could care less. Again, there's so many different ways to get your ability energy back, or build up your super ability energy back, rather. And mobility really is more of something you should focus on or consider more heavily in PvP. So I really could care less for those two things. So now it narrows down to recovery, discipline, and strength. Recovery, has kind of become obsolete, not gonna hold you, in terms of not only just for hunters is really not as important, but also just generally because of a lot of changes that have happened. Having high recovery in PvP again is cool, but it doesn't matter as much to me. So now it gets us down to building into discipline or building into strength. Now again, this is not Omni-Oculus, this is Orpheus Rig. And so what are we actually building into? We're building into more of the actual ability to do building more into the ability to have the snare bomb and the deadfall available to us, which is more centered around strength than anything else. Again, for discipline, we can create orbs with our different grenades. We can do like a suppressor grenade build, we can do a vortex grenade build, whatever the case may be. So we want discipline to be a little bit decent, but it's not our main focus here. So what we're going to do, the highest that we can get is tier 7. So knowing that we are doing 100 Brazil, the highest tier that we can do for strength, which is tier 7. Now this list went from several hundred options to I guess I didn't scroll down earlier, but earlier we had several hundred options, and now we only have 20 options. So if you look at this, there's only 20 options available. All right, cool. So we could just stop there and kind of move on. But again, you see that there are more things grayed out, but we still have a couple of options of what we want to try and build into. So again, we talked about mobility, we talked about intellect. There's pros and cons to those, but again, this is going to be more of a PvE build. And so the focus here for me, I'd rather have a little bit more grenade energy than anything else. And so 100 Brazil, 70 strength, 50 discipline, and then everything else, in my opinion, I could care less. Keep in mind, when you're doing your build, make the build based on like what your actual gameplay style is, right? Maybe you're like, oh, that's like super ridiculous. We need more discipline, or we need more. But that's up to you. I don't find that to be true. That's not my experience in 7+ years of the game. This is actually what, for me, a PvE centered build around Orpheus Rigs. And when we scroll down to Orpheus Rigs, we hover over, where it provides ability energy for each target tethered by deadfall anchors. Morpheus Quiver has an additional shot. So it's getting us the ability to tether more enemies, which not only, again, tether gives that 30% debuff, but also tether gives us the opportunity to actually do a lot of really cool crowd control. And the more ability for tether that we have, the better, especially in in-game content scenarios. All right, so we went from a couple hundred to, I forgot how many, there's like 20 something, and now we are down to 5. There are literally only 5 options for us, which is great, right? It brings us from having to be a little bit stressed about these situations. So now we get to look at what stat distribution we want, because all of these are a little bit different, but you can see a lot of similarities. So we can go into tier levels at a different video, folks really want to deep dive, but that's really not important. If this is your first time, if this is your first time actually using D2 Armor Picker, then I would suggest you just kind of ignore this right now. It's not super important. If you've done D2 Armor Picker a couple of times, then yeah, definitely consider it a tier level. But for us, what do we want? We want to be able to have 100 Brazil, we want to be able to have 70, at least minimum strength, and then we want to have 50 discipline. So again, your top option based on what you selected on the left, based on what you selected over here, your top option typically, 8 times out of 10 is going to be this top option. But if you want to look a little bit more deeply, look at some of the differences between these, right? So on this one, we are getting that 50 discipline, that 70 strength, but in this variation right now, we're still getting the stats that we want, but also we get 60 intellect instead of 50, right? So again, there are a couple things to consider as you're going through these pieces of what does each aspect of these things mean to you. So for me, as much as I would love to go this route, I think it's a little bit more viable, even though we don't need to. In Orpheus Rigs is it's a super base build, and so having a little bit more intellect is great. But as I mentioned before, there's so many different ways to get orbs provide energy for your abilities. There's workarounds for it, but if we can for free essentially still get a little bit more, then why not, right? Because where is it? All right, so the difference between all the tiers is like very, very, you know, it's very small, right? Because like if you're going in this example of tier fall intellect, it's at its base. It gives you the different intellect, right, when you hover it over. So when you're at tier 4, it's only giving us, and you know, we get our super back regularly in 7 minutes and 12 seconds. Tier 5, 6 minutes to 51 seconds, excuse me. And then tier 6 is 6 minutes, 32 seconds. And that's like just sitting there. It's not collecting orbs. It's not doing damage to bosses, right? So knowing that we're getting that jump from 7 minutes, 12 seconds to 6 minutes and 32 seconds is a pretty nice jump. So again, that gives us a little bit more incentive to go with this build. All right, so we click on it. Shows us the details. It shows everything that you need. Obviously, it could be any class item. It shows you the exotic that you're using. It shows you the stat distribution. If you want to, let me scroll down a little bit. If you want to get into these details, there's a lot of different things you can tweak, but then it shows you the most important thing, or one of the most important things on this site, and I'm gonna scroll down in a second, is it tells you the material cost. So I love this aspect because it gives you a little bit of a heads up of what materials you actually need to be able to pull off this build, right? And so if you need to grind for specific materials, you already kind of had the heads up. In our case, we really don't need to. We have all these materials at hand right now. So what we want to do, there's a couple different ways you can actually move this from D2 armor picker to dim. We're going to switch to dim in a second, but there's one, you can copy the query to the clipboard. And so you click this button and then you go into dim. And then at the beginning, you would paste that. And so just an example will show you. So we'll copy it, go over to dim, click paste, and then it does this really long line of code. And that when it does, it only highlights the armor pieces that you would need. You see right here, that would be a part of getting you to that build setup that you have, right? So a lot of the stuff is in my, if you all can see it, I don't know if it's closed out, but a lot of these pieces are in my vault. But again, I'd have to pull those pieces and then level them up, right? So you can do it that way. But what I prefer, and again, we're going to close that out, is to actually do the second option where you open loadout and dim. So you open loadout and dim. This is still a beta feature, but look at this, y'all. Oh no. I want to show you. Okay, so it's kind of cutting off on my end. Sad face. Why must you cheat me like this? All right, so it's kind of cutting off on this end. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna call this chat rig build. So we're doing this chat. It's Orpheus rig and it's a build. Oh no, I got kicked to orbit. Let me go back to the helm. Wait, I should have moved my character real quick. Anyways, so we're gonna call it that. We're gonna save it. I know it's cut off a little bit, but now when we click it, you get to see it a little bit better. There we go. Now we have all the things that we were in D2 armor picker trying to select and figure out. That, you know, we could still come back to this and look at the stat distributions if we want. But now we look at this and we have it available in dim. And so with that, we not only have that, but then the necessary mods that we need to get us to where we need to go, right? Because if you remember, in order to get to this setup, it tells us that we need two stacks of resilience mods, and then we need 3 stacks of strength mods in order to get to this. And so it already has picked those out. You see that two over here, 3 over here, and we have the 2 there. So not only is that my preferred option for getting the build to where we want it to be, because it's like, you know, just a little bit easier, but also we have the ability to get everything customized the way we want. So chat rig builds, as you see, I have a lot of different builds. Maybe you can't see, I have to scroll down. It won't let me scroll. Oh, let me now. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix this scene later. But again, you know, we do some fly. And so now what we have the ability to do is set this up the way we want. So when we do that, what do I want to do next? Oh, I should have shown y'all on stream. All right, let's try and go back. But again, you can kind of see on the right hand corner if you caught that little bit right there, but we did transfer the things over. So again, we don't have everything set up the way you would do, but we do have the armor pieces. So I have the armor pieces. There's definitely some stuff I need to like level up, but now what we get to do is yo, Sin, welcome in. I'm sorry, Sin, I definitely was looking at the other screen, but welcome in. He's a big guy. Yeah. So appreciate that. Yeah. So this playlist just has louder tracks and softer tracks. It's just like the mix I use. So yeah, it just kind of happens. So it's that like the poison you pick type thing, right? Like it's a mix that I really like. I think of solid songs and it's copyright free, but then also like there's some songs that are like super loud on the mix and some that aren't. So but thanks for the flag. I'll turn it down a little bit for right now. So recovery isn't needed at all. Yeah, so actually let me finish my thought and then I'll answer that. But yeah, that's actually a good flag. Let me finish my thought and then I'll come back to it. So as you can see, what we moved over from, we moved again the 3-step process. We picked everything out and got it set up in D2 Armor Picker. We then moved it to the dim loadout system, and from the dim loadout system, we clicked apply. And then now you see that we have all the things that we want. We have Orpheus rigs, we have the other gear. Again, you see some of the gear is not even fully masterworked and leveled up. You know, we'd still have to like level it up. And you see I went from 1825 to 1798, right? So I definitely have to fix this build up a little bit, which we can do at a different time. But just for the purposes of today, I'm just going to do the bare minimum. So we know that for one thing, we have to get on Void, right? So let's go ahead and button. Let's go ahead and get to Void. So now we're at Night Stalker. Again, we'll worry about weapons, all this different stuff at a different time. Again, self-promo. If you'd like to see this stuff, you can check us out at www.twitch.tv/SkyShinobi or youtube.com/SkyShinobi/videos. You can see us do this type of content. You can see us, do video essays, commentaries, all the good stuff, where you have the ability to, really be in here. And again, we have folks in chat who give us questions as well as feedback. And this is a great space to community build here. So if you're interested, come and join us. All right. Rubs hands. All right, rubs hands like Birdman. Okay, anyways, so back to the schedule program. So knowing that we're able to do this process, it's pretty straightforward. If you have access to the exotic armor piece, and again, you can also make builds based on weapons as well, because we know that there are certain exotic weapons that have very specific setups, right? And so this is also another option for you to use D2 Armor Picker to be able to make that choice as well. So if the Eiger Scepter is stasis, which you should know, and you had the build set up, you then have the option to think of okay, what would be a really good stasis setup, and then you can kind of look through all of the different armor pieces that you have available to see what armor piece would pair well with that. And then again, you go to D2 Armor Picker, pick out a setup based on the stats that you want, bring that over into dim, and then from dim you can apply it and then tweak your builds. So we're gonna go, we're just gonna finish this up really quickly. We're not gonna make it a complete build today. This is more just for example for you all. But again, we know that we want to be, we have the option to be on Mobius Quiver, because Mobius Quiver actually gives us the additional tether throw. Again, we can go on Deadfall if we want, but again, look at the description. Mobius Quiver has an additional shot. So knowing that this is more of a PvP debuff, PvE, excuse me, this is more of a PvE debuff and add clear build, we're actually going to stay on Mobius Quiver. We're going to do Gambler's Dodge because we want to be able to get our grenade back. We're going to do Triple Jump because I prefer Triple Jump on Hunter. That's just me. Snare Bomb, again, that's the only option we have. And then again, your choice of grenade here, I think particularly because we want this to be a more support-based build, this is something I would bring into Grandmasters. This is something I would, take into like a dungeon, and even a master dungeon. I would prefer Vortex because, again, crowd control, we can throw this in, the Vortex will suck in the enemies and then also do debuff damage. second. But also, again, if you really want to like lean into the debuff side, I would suggest a suppressor grenade build because there are a lot of options there. From there, we're gonna do vanishing step because we want to go invis when we dodge, so that's something we definitely want to do. And again, when we dodge, we're getting our melee energy back, so that's a really good gameplay loop to be able to go between those. And then also for me particularly, I like trappers. Words. I like trappers ambush, specifically to, you know, do our let's start that sentence again. Particularly for me, I like the Trapper's Ambush because of the quick fall ability and the ability to be able to spin this. It takes up your melee energy, but you can dodge near an enemy, you'll go invis, and you'll immediately get your melee back. And so it's a really cool gameplay loop to go from Vanishing Step, Trapper's Ambush, and Gambler's Dodge. So really easy to stay invis. Trapper's Ambush also allows you to make your teammates invis. It's a really good gameplay loop. And then in terms of fragments, as I kind of alluded before, the benefit of having Vortex is to be able to have this fragment where our grenades weaken targets. So again, not only we're getting that tether debuff when we have our super, but also our void grenades are gonna be able to debuff as well. In addition to the fact that like you can turn on the mod on your armor pieces that grenade kills give you orbs, which is something again we can tackle in another video, so folks are interested. Again, the other one I like is finishers make you go invisible. If you all don't see the kind of loop we have here, the goal is to stay invisible when we need to, or have options to go invisible when we need to preserve our team. Again, if I'm taking this into a Grandmaster Nightfall, whether it's a finisher, whether it's you know, just dodging, whether it's, you know, doing quick fall, I want to have multiple options to get me and my team out of trouble in the end game. So we're talking about Master Dungeon, we're talking about Master Raids, we're talking about Grandmaster Nightfalls. These are options that, like, again, are a little bit more passive. They're not as much aggressive gameplay, but they do help keep my team alive. And especially in a Grandmaster Nightfall like this week with the Mars Battleground, yeah, I'd prefer that over an aggressive build where people can die easily. The other fragment, really quick, is bump and resilience. When we get melee final blows, do health regeneration. So again, really just thinking into how we're going to stay alive. And then last but not least, final blows when surrounded by combatants grant super energy. And what are we going to be doing a lot of? Killing with our melee, killing with our weapons, killing with our grenades, as well as our tether's going to help us get debuffs on larger targets, but also for trash ads and lower health enemies are going to get those kills. So again, we have a nice loop here that even though we have pretty low intellect, which we talked about when we were on D2 Armor Picker, ultimately there's a lot of ways we're going to be getting our super back pretty fast. So again, that's the basis of how to get started with the build. This is not a full build crafting like walkthrough. This is more so just getting started. If you've never used D2 Armor Picker before, I would highly, one more time, highly suggest you give it a try out because it's just a really useful website. Again, shout out to Miyago. That's how I pronounce it, but apologies in advance if it's pronounced Mijago or another way. But again, Mijago helps out the community by upkeeping this website, them and their team. And again, it's just a really useful website where again, you can literally handcraft the type of build that you want. Say I want 10 resilience and I want 80 mobility. You know, like there's different ways, and you see in real time if you can't already tell on the side. But as you switch these different things, you automatically get different setups and builds that you have available. So say you wanted 90 mobility for whatever reason, couldn't be me. But you know, if you wanted 90 mobility, you know, like you could do that. There's ways to do that based on what you have. Again, this is all based on what you have in your exotic side, right? So what exotics you actually have available, but then also what's in your vault. And so then being able to use wizard magic and APIs and code to like find out what's in your vault, understand what possibilities you have, and really bringing you into space where, again, just changing this to 50 so we can see a little bit more options. But again, you can see so many different combinations once it loads, but you can see so many different combinations for getting the type of build that you want. And again, if you have artifice armor and you have like higher tier armor and better slots and better distributions, you have more options, obviously. But this is a very clear way to be able to say, okay, you know what? I have an exotic that really depends on my grenade. Let me see builds that are 100 discipline. And automatically you're able to come over here, see all the different possibilities. And for me, this is such a great tool, despite the current state of Destiny 2. This is like one of those things that I just love about being able to really engage in build craft and strategy, strategize words, but you know, really build out a really strong strategy for how I'm going to go into content, but then also how in general, you know, you can really think about like what's going to be a support build, what's a tank type build, you know, all the different things that are for the different scenarios that are going to really help you out. And yeah, and there we go. There we go. Ooh. All right. I hate that my mixer is still messed up as well. Side face. All right, let me save this and actually like save it. Lamau. Refresh. Well, I guess I can show you all that as well, but yeah, I'm just trying to get this sorted on the actual website. So equipped, save loadout. Just for right now, we're gonna edit later. But chat, rig, build, renewed. So we know the difference between the original build and the other one we did. So again, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So we have our original build. We have the original chat rig build, which came in from just like kind of theory crafting. And then we have a little bit better build, not complete, but a little bit better build for when we want to do an Orpheus rig specific build. Again, I used to have one and I deleted it. Well, not that I deleted it, but I just don't use it because it was like from season 17 and the meta changed so much. So it's like the same pair of like Orpheus rigs, but obviously the meta changed, so it's a little bit different setup. Cool. So y'all get to see behind the curtain a little bit. You know, that's how we, you know, that's ain't no gatekeeping over here. That's how we get it done. That's how we have solid builds and all that good stuff. Cool. I don't have space to save it in my Destiny 2, but it's fine. What do I actually want to play with? Honestly, I ain't gonna hold you. Actually, no, let's do my stasis build. I like that. Why is it 18? Oh, wait. Never mind. Ignore me. Okay. So yes, coming back to what you had offered. So recovery isn't needed at all. In my opinion, no. So somewhere in the Destiny 2 universe, there is a PvP person who is making a ragdoll of me and poking me with pins right now, trying to do voodoo. But LOL, I shouldn't say that. But you know, there are people who are very passionate about recovery and very passionate about mobility, especially on a hunter. But in my experience with the game, and I've been playing the game a long time, it's just not as worth it, especially in the meta that we've had since like season 18. And again, each season is 3 months, so that's like been like the past like year and a half, 2 years of content. The recovery, which again is the rate that you recover lost health. Yes, it's great that like if you can get hit by something and it only takes like a couple seconds for you to recover health, that's better. You know, 2 seconds to recover health versus 10 seconds. Yes, that's a pretty big difference in terms of survivability. But you know what else I can do for that gap of time, that 2 seconds to 10 seconds? You know what else I can do? I can hide behind a rock. I can dodge and go invisible. I can back up so I'm not within the line of sight of the enemy I'm facing. You know, for me, it's just like, just not even from a meta standpoint, but just from like a practicality standpoint. Like there's so many other options where I could literally just get out of harm's way, which in my opinion, again, don't crucify me here, but in my opinion, that's a lot better than like just sitting there still tanking damage and being like, I'll recover fast. It's like, bro, just back up. This is like actually like back up. It'll be okay. Now again, in a PvP scenario, does having high recovery, like 8 or 9 recovery, make more sense? Absolutely. Even if you get to 100 recovery, yeah. So, because if you're in a gunfight, and not only do you have, you know, 7 resilience or higher, again, we're talking about a PvP scenario, and I would highly, you know, again, shout out to Ill Physics, shout out to True Vanguard, shout out to Pure Chill. Again, these are people who, shout out to Drewski, shout out to, is it Cami Cakes? Again, forgive me if I'm messing up anyone's name, but there are a number of goats out there in the PvP side of the game who are also just generally positive folks. So again, we always like big up positive folks, except, you know, we don't really highlight people who are negative, but was it Cami Cakes, Pure Chill, Ill Physics, True Vanguard. I'm missing some folks, so I hate naming names because you would always end up missing folks, but those people for sure, you know, I see their content on YouTube and I watch it, you know, see their streams, and they definitely can explain a lot better. But essentially the fact, like, if you're in a gunfight and you have decent mobility, you have decent resilience for damage, but then you also have high recovery, it's really good to be in a gunfight where like you're dueling somebody and say you're at similar skill level or they're slightly higher skill than you. Even if they outskill you, if you have the ability to like dodge or like maneuver into cover and you have high recovery, you recover quickly, and then you're able to get back into the gunfight faster and then potentially finish them off. In the long run, that's actually better, right? Because if it takes them longer to recover their health and you're recovering your health faster, that means you can movement tech, you know, you can do the different things like get back in the gunfight faster. And even if they're higher skilled than you, if you've recovered, you have the health to go back and fight some more. You know, yeah, in that scenario, it makes more sense to have recovery. In the sense of like PvE engagement, which again, the majority of this game is PvE, lost sectors, dungeons, raids, campaign missions, you know, like the majority of this game is PvE. And so being in a space where like, again, I'm not sitting here like dunking on the PvP side of the game, I'm just, you know, calling a spade a spade. Recovery is just not as needed, and so it's great that you can recover, you know, 0.3 seconds faster when you're, you know, in a raid scenario, but also you can hide behind a rock. You can literally like move out of the line of fire. You know, like there's other ways that you can actually like stay safe, and that's why having higher resilience makes more sense in a PvE scenario than recovery, given the fact that like at that standpoint is like, yeah, just like you know, like I'd rather be able to tank more damage, have higher resil, plus have again in this build, thinking about not Surges, having arc damage. There's a lot of arc damage this season, and so having 100 resil, which gives me 30% damage resistance, also having arc damage resist, which again, when we look at the details, again reduces the damage. Oh wait, no, I was trying to think of what site actually tells you. But there's a site that tells you the exact percentage. So again, I'm essentially have more than 30% damage resist because I have double resistance mods, but then I also have the ability to damage reduction. So yeah, it's, you know, to each their own, but it's just like recovery, in my opinion, is just in this meta and what works for a game that's primarily, again, 70-30, 70% PvE, 30% PvP. You can definitely like save a build, and you know, I have different builds. I have different like builds that are specifically for PvP, some are for raid specific. You know, I have different builds for things, and sure, like have a build that is high recover if you want for PvP. But even on my PvP build, and this is the build I went flawless with. One of the times I went flawless, not flawless. Excuse me, I'm sorry. True, apologize. I went flawless on my warlock. I'm getting my stories mixed up. But even the build, this was the build that I did comp with for my comp promotion series, and I did pretty well. It's double 100. It's 100 resilient, 100 grenade. I have 30 recovery, and I still did like really well because even in a PvP scenario, there were still walls to hide behind. You know, there's still other ways to like get to a place where you can regen your health. Obviously, if it was like 60 resil or 70, recovery. If it was like 60 or 70 recovery, obviously you wouldn't have a lot more options. But it's in my opinion, this is a better style. So again, we're really leaning into like loaders. We're leaning into targeting. So it's just kind of it is what it is. What it is. All right. So I've rambled quite a bit. Well, not even rambling. We're creating content. As I said at the beginning of the stream, where this is a content creation stream. It's not a stream. But we are gonna get into. I don't know where I left off on my weekly content. Not gonna hold you. Wait, am I not on hell? Oh, I am on hell. Okay, so. Now I want to stand up. So actually, this one. Somebody tell me what. So we're gonna go to our Be Right Back stream real quick. I'm gonna stand up on the stretch, and then we're actually gonna get into some gaming. Not for a lot. Again, this is gonna be a shorter stream, but we're gonna game for a bit, and then I have some reaction content that I want to record, and then we'll be done for the day. But again, while we're here for a good time, not a long time. So we'll see y'all back in a second. Word. Also, I just scrubbed back real quick and realized y'all can't hear my sound effects board right now. And you know what? I hate it here. I hate it here. I don't know how this keeps happening. Honestly, if someone wants to hop in Discord, not right now, but if someone knows, I think I said this before, but I have the loop deck connector or the loop deck as my mixer, so I do not have an XLR because I ain't got XLR money. But
you see me too.
Yeah, we're doing what we can. I've had it for 3 years at this point. So again, as I said, 8 streams ago, it kind of makes sense that it's kind of breaking down at this point. But Hollow connector. I'm at the Hollow connector. What are you talking about? So it kind of makes sense that it's breaking down, but also it doesn't feel great that it's breaking down. It doesn't feel great. Let me. Which build? Hello? Which build? So it doesn't feel great that it's kind of breaking down. Hello? Where's the drifter, yo? Why are y'all trolling me? Literally, it's go to the Hollow protector. Why y'all lying to me? Why y'all lying to me? Stop lying to me. Stop lying to me. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Oh wait, what? That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. All right, Sapthing's Throne World. Why y'all ain't tell me that I had to go to see the Throne World? Huh? Why y'all ain't tell me that? Y'all ain't real. Y'all ain't real. One thing I will never stop repeating. Okay, maybe not never, but it'll be a while before I stop repeating. But I am so thankful for this current meta where you can safely and effectively run double special. Oh my god! Especially if you have a ability-based build. I'll say that like 30 times. But especially if you have ability centered builds. Oh my goodness. Delicious. Do we want to do this public I don't know. Do I don't think I want to. I don't think I want to, then proceeds to do the thing. Okay. Oh Lord, my well now, is no one's here. That's why. Okay. That's crazy. I don't know if this person intentionally. Oh, LOL. I keep thinking I'm on like my art build. I know. Well, now it didn't work. That's crazy. Nami messed up twice. Unfortunate. My excuse. I love this build. So much. Get my minute immediately. It's unfair. This is kind of unfair. Wait, nobody's on the thing. Oh my god. Imagine having teammates. Having teammates would be great. Is this my chill clip roll? I think this is my chill clip roll. Please, you get first. Everybody everyone was getting frozen. No, I keep forgetting that. I'm literally doing this. Why did I do this, yo? Why? Where is it? Hello? Oh, sorry. Yeah. This rocket. There is another rocket, Bump in the Night, that has chill clip as well, but like I feel like this has just deranked. I mean, Bump in the Night is still really good, but I think the stats on Cold Compress, or whatever this is called. Bro, get off me! Get off me! Get off me! Oh my goodness. Imagine having teammates. It only hurts because it's so easy. It's so easy to get heroic on this specific event. But like, usually you just need like one other person doing something.
Pyramid super weapons down.
Yeah.
That was a close one.
All that matters is that the throne world remains standing.
All right, now let's actually do the campaign. So I finished the campaign. Spoiler alert. I don't know if I have the patience to do the whole thing, but if we do, just pre-spoiler alert that I have done. Lamau. Wow, look at me. Insert the clapping sound effect if my soundboard was actually working. So pre-spoiler alert, but it's still spoiler alert that I'm how am I? We just started. Oh my God. Wait, is this even the right amount? Because I'm not about to wait. Wrong button. I'm not about to sit here and waste my time if it's the wrong thing. I think it's the wrong thing, y'all. Yeah, it's the wrong thing. Let me get out of here. Wait, is it the wrong thing? Am I like? Oh my God, it just might be one of those days. The extraction. Are we in extraction? I'm gonna go out and come back in. Stasis weapon use. No, this is cool. So Quagmire is the place. I don't know, y'all. I think this is the right place, but if it's not, I'm kind of gonna be salty. I'm not gonna be salty. I used my special ammo for that stupid public print. There we go. Oh, Lord. I was about to say, imagine hitting my shots. Button. This is my first time getting on today, so my movement isn't quite there. Also, I was playing Call of Duty, so my button layout is a little bit different. A little bit. So my fingers are like, I don't know if I used to have a keyboard cam. I don't know why I stopped using it, but yeah. My hands are trying to go in a direction that are not useful for this game. You get first. I'm in Viz. And I'm not even using Assassin's Count. Can you get a Zord? What's the Zord? You going this? Go get these shards, get all the shards. All the shards, baby. You need the shards. You don't see me, bro. You can't see me, bro. You can't see me. Did it finish? Did it finish? I think it finished, right? I can't tell. I think it finished. I really don't care about her anymore. No, oh wait, he don't despawn. Well, I mean, they're up in that way. And you can't see me, bro. Watch this, watch this. Watch this. We're this again. We're this again. Two. I think I did. Let the boss room easy. Shatter damage or 20. I'm gonna kill you just like that. Alright, there we go. Got plenty of heavy ammo. Wait, okay, no, I thought that was special ammo. I'm gonna shoot off a couple rockets. We got oh, why is it giving me so much heavy? Oh wait, yeah, the bug is still active. Oh, it does not have tracking. Wow, I'm just bad? I'm just bad? Oh, wow. Imagine being this. Reload! That's bananas. You know what? I was about to spoil something. Well, no, I already said it. But, doing this law sector, I think this is the benefit of having two characters. So doing this law sector again via the story, the weekly story, and now knowing what happens in the most recent update makes so much sense. Because at first I thought this was so bizarre. Like, why are we doing this law sector out of nowhere? It's like we have had zero reason to be in the throne world, but then now knowing what we know. Again, hashtag spoiler, but the fact that like Savathun is actually going to be the only way that we can get into the whatever we're calling this. I forget, you know, lore people help me out, but whatever we're calling this, where like the Traveler and the Veil have merged. Because the Witness used our ghost to connect the Traveler, and because we're at the Veil, then we made like a pseudo connection. I don't know. Whatever. Either way, we're connected, and now potentially Savathun, who is dead, but her ghost survived, so she can be revived. She is now her way into the abyss. The abyss. So, yeah, gonna see where this goes. Unfortunately, we won't really, this week was the last week for the story mission, so we more likely will not get any more details on storyline until the August showcase. So, I mean, for better or for worse, but you know, it is what it is. Bro, hello? Hello? Oh, it's in here. Oh, damn, I'm just trying to figure out the story. I already know what happens. I already know what happens. Too bad there's not a skip button on like scenes that you've already seen. Unless someone wants me to like actually pay attention. Just gonna skip these, y'all. Just gonna skip. Speaking of skipping, let's get a different fit. Actually, hold on. Let's change the hood. Let's change the little cape. Wait, is this a cutscene? Oh wait, no, that's this week's. This week's is a cutscene. I'm thinking I'm still behind.
But only for a moment.
With my HUD. Ooh, I like that.
I must borrow Sloane's voice to speak my words.
Off a rip, bro.
Please. Heed them well.
No. I use that way too often. Maybe. It kind of works. It kind of doesn't.
Before you can confront the witness, you must understand it. The witness's first victims were once like you.
Okay.
Struggling for survival, bolstered by hopes, until their hopes became reality.
Oh yeah, this is the cutscene. Infamous cutscene. Actually, we'll turn it out. We'll turn it out.
It ushered them into a golden age. For eons they prospered, but their newfound God never spoke to them. It lavished them with gifts, but not with guidance. And though they lived in paradise, they came to crave a greater purpose. They desired meaning, structure, a winnower, to shape the garden. Their scholars discovered that the gardener shared a connection with another entity among the stars. They called it the Veil, and when they found it, they arrived to claim it. They already knew much about the light, how it could bend the laws of the universe and create life. But they came to realize that it could bring ruin just as easily. The cosmic events it set in motion could wipe out entire civilizations in a heartbeat, without reason. And so they saw the light, not as a source of prosperity, but of unfettered chaos. By studying the Veil, they came to know the darkness, A power that was shaped by thought and consciousness. And in the darkness, they found the means to carve away the chaos of existence, to calcify it into a final shape. Eternal and perfected. They brought the veil back to the gardener in an attempt to strengthen their connection. There, they could reshape reality itself. The gardener would not allow it. And so it fled their world. But they would not be deterred. Having witnessed the truth in the darkness, they used its binding power to merge themselves into the salvation they craved. Thus began the Witness's pursuit. Its campaign to impose meaning on a meaningless universe. One that is nearly at its end.
W cutscene. W cutscene. W cutscene. All right. Yeah. I apologize. So I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on today. But my mixer is not working with me at all. And it's just like, I was wondering why. So I turned it down. I don't know, there's like some type of miscommunication, but I turned it down on like my mixer, like my, bro, this is like the unfortunate side of just like companies build this stuff knowing that you're gonna need to upgrade it. It's like, fam, can I just have something that's gonna last? It's only, in my opinion, 3 years is not a long time for technology. I've had my phone since 2017, actually 2016, and you know, like I keep things for a long time. It's just unfortunate where it's just like, it feels like this is like breaking down and becoming more and more inefficient and a bother. So I'm sorry if some of the audio is off, but it's just like something with my mixer is not communicating with OBS, because like it will show that it's turning the volume down or adjusting it when I adjust it, but then like the actual, I'm going back and like scrubbing through and I'm seeing that the audio is not translating over itself. Sad face. Anyways, I said this was gonna be a short stream, so it's fine. We'll figure it out for another time. But if anything is like terribly loud, please let me know. Please let me know. I'm not trying to adjust eardrums, and I'm also not trying to have my voice drowned out by the music. But it's just like consistency would be lovely, because even my scene changing isn't working right now.
Well,
which kind of sucks.
now we've heard what Asa had to tell us.
Cool.
Change of plans. Zero.
This I am skipping around because I've heard all of this so many times.
Not even a little. I trust Orin.
All right, cool. Does anyone want to join up to do this mission real quick? Otherwise, I've done it solo before, so I really don't mind doing it solo.
Somebody a long time ago.
I typically do this stuff solo anyway, so it's just like I'm not like pressed. I'm not pressed to buy it. Oh, we're on 37. Okay, just a second ago we were at step 32. I thought this was gonna take longer. So yeah, let's finish this up, and then we'll do the other thing that we have planned for stream, and then we'll get out of here for today.
Because at the end of the day,
I have to listen to this whole thing, bro.
we gotta put our faith in
I don't want to listen to it. I don't care. Everyone's like, the world is scary and things are not getting better, and I'm like, bro, I know.
I didn't expect you to lose yours and keep
Bro, I
moving.
know. Life is not fair.
Guess we're all full of surprises, ain't we?
Life is not fair.
Benefit of the doubt that you're being
They're not like that.
Oh, I'm always genuine. People just ain't always paying attention. For real though, Moondust might have given me a push.
Okay.
Thought it'd help.
So
I'm really trying not to let this take over my emotions right now because we're having such a good day. But now I feel a little bit dysregulated because that's bothersome. Because I'm also like a very like sensory like sensitive person, so it's just like I would hate that I was blowing out anyone's eardrums because that's like totally not intentional. But like I didn't realize so just now that my mixer and OBS are not communicating, and that's like both super frustrating, but also like I'm super like sad if that like was bothersome for anybody. You take 1 week off streaming and like everything goes kablooey. Okay, I'm not. Deep breath. Not gonna get overwhelmed. Sad face. What are we doing? I don't know what we're doing. It's a mission, right? We have to do the mission. Yeah, we have to do the mission. I can help you. Yeah. Join up. You're on the friends list, right? You should be able to join up. Yeah. Join up. Yeah, we'll knock it out fairly quickly. That stinks. That is a bummer. I'm sorry, y'all, because I'm probably gonna come back to the stream later. I rewatch my VODs, so I always like to see where I can improve or where things can get better. But that stinks. That stinks. Are you ready? Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Who? Hello? Who? Wait, what? Course. Oh, someone. Who is this? K-Pack. 0811. You're not caught up to the storyline, so you can't do that. You can't do this mission. Okay, all right, hold on, let me type that. K-Pack, you aren't caught up to the story, so it won't let you do it. Yeah, sorry about that, K-Pack. Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, pre-spoiler alerts. I already said spoiler alerts earlier, but I'm sorry, I'm a little bit like dysregulated and frustrated that stream is not going according to plan. But guess what? We persevere, and we'll figure it out, and then we'll come back on Friday. Yeah, no. Sin, yeah, no. To be clear, and please communicate with your friend. I don't have a problem with that. Like, that's not the issue. The issue is just like that they weren't caught up with the story campaign. So it's like I physically can't pull them into that activity because the game won't let them. So, yeah. No, don't worry about it. Like I'm not upset or anything. It's just they have to be caught up to the story they did. So it's not a
Daylight's burning.
Yeah,
She's
it's not an issue. You're fine.
I can feel it.
I'll find you on the field, Sloan.
It's also like unfortunate, like
We'll get this done.
slight tangent, but it is kind of unfortunate that like we can't do that, because if someone willingly wants to kind of skip ahead, especially if they're on like their second or third character, I mean, Bungie, like let them do the activity. You know what I'm saying? Let them do the activity.
Fire team, check in. I've reached my position on the left flank. I've encountered
What am I
a
doing?
ritual.
I'm setting up on the right. Looks like a smaller ritual
And now
site
my
here,
mouse
too.
is acting up.
Pushing toward the
Yo.
commander's position.
But yeah, I'm sorry. If I didn't finish that sentence. But yeah, no need to be sorry.
You're on time.
It's not a you or your friend thing. It's a Bungie thing.
Spiking up ahead of you, hero.
Which again,
That must
like
be
here's the
awesome.
thing, and it's kind of like with
Whatever they're doing is
movies
taking
and
place.
film and getting
We're gonna
spoiled
do
on
something
things. It's
about
like
it.
some
Now's the
people
time.
want to get
Good.
spoiled.
Stop
They're okay with
moving
getting
forward.
spoiled. So it's like, you know, if someone wants to like move ahead in the
Launch our
campaign,
diversion.
you know, let them move ahead. You know. Oh, I missed the bubble. I'm gonna keep going. Oh, I missed another bubble. I'm about to die, y'all. Oh wait, no, I got it. Ooh. I think we both can get bubbles on this. I think it's deep dives where we have to. It's deep dives in the dungeon where. Let's do it. But yeah. I've said this before, but I guess I haven't said it in a while. It's like, yeah, like if we're gaming, especially like on days like today or like a community day, definitely feel free to bring in the homies. I do not feel any type of way, unless we're doing like a dungeon or a raid and I've already like promised that I'll do it with someone. If we're just gaming, we're gaming. Feel free to invite the homies. Do the story, bro. What build are you rocking, Sin? Okay, it's kind of fancy. Sin got a little fancy.
Enemy reinforcements flooding the right flank. We're holding.
Also, if you didn't know, I've shouted out Sin before, but Sin, I just saw that you commented on one of my videos, so I meant to respond back to it. But yeah, Sin, really appreciate words. But I really appreciate Sin. I really appreciate anybody who's just like kind of like genuine and has come in to the community, has helped out on stream before, you know, supports the YouTube channel content, actively, you know, will watch, you know, the videos and then, you know, comment and not just like troll, but like actually comment. Also has their own content creation, you know, channel that they're on. So hello? Why didn't you freeze? That's rude. That's suspicious. Yeah, no, shout out to Sin for I think the game is cheating because I definitely froze people like a couple times in a row and it didn't register. Also, I was trying to prep for stream off stream. I was trying to prep for this stream off stream, and I was contacting Destiny servers. So I previously been contacting Destiny servers. So I don't know what's going on. I literally just don't know what's going on with the game anymore. But yeah, actually, speaking of which, this is a great time to promo. Because we have made it to YouTube Partner, we now have additional ways to support the channel. So if you'd like to support the channel by doing like super chats, which again, you can donate any amount of money that you have availability for to have your message highlighted chat for a certain amount of time, or if you are okay, or if you just want to be a part of the membership group where you're doing kind of like a subscription model similar to what you see on other platforms, there is that way to do so. Wait, no, Karen's get away from me. Let me get my super energy back.
Every wizard you put in the dirt makes a dent. Plug away, hero.
Let me get some orbs. Let's get ready for the next wave.
Wind, Guardian. Whatever you're doing, keep it up.
We go like this. Again, apologize. I'm probably not completing secrets again. Oh, kill the wizard! Hello, stop moving. Thank you. Thank you for getting the shrieker. Alright, this is 2 out of 3. Last one.
Take that position.
Warrior of the sky.
Get the orbs.
Hold on, Asa. We're coming.
The coward thing must be taken.
Nice. Let's go. Ain't no way. Get away from me. Alright, where are you? Where are you? Right there. Did you touch my rocket? Game got cheat codes. Game got cheat codes. It's okay.
Last one. Long girl should be home free.
Thank you so much, Sin. Say that level 9 or insert clapping sound effect because my soundboard isn't working. But I see you, Sin, with the level 9. Let's go. I'm almost finished with rank 10, and then literally it's just accommodation things again, which is so silly. But the accommodations and then finishing up Grandmasters in a couple weeks, and then I'm done. And I feel like I'm just gonna rank up this second time to rank 11, and I'm probably just not gonna do it again, y'all. Just to be honest. But also, you know, everything is content, so I'm probably gonna do a deeper analysis on a video. But yeah, I'm just I'm done. This is like I feel like we'll listen to this cutscene, but I feel like I gave the system a fair chance, and yeah.
Zivorath's forces are in full retreat.
Good. Time to complete the mission.
Let me actually listen this time. I didn't
Our
listen last
dance
time.
will never end. I am war. You carry my banner. Cling to me like hope. What are you without me? Sink into my embrace. Drown in the deep. Fight forever.
Oh.
Stand down, deputy. Sometimes the battle is stepping away from the battle. We're with you all the way.
Sometimes the battle is stepping away from the battle. Come on now.
The true path lies obscured, but she knows the way. She who hides truth in deception. The Witch Queen must rise.
Okay, I guess I was speeding through it last time, but I missed that part of dialogue. So I knew it was Savathun, but like, I missed the part where it was like the Witch Queen must rise. So yeah. W Savathun plus ratio. Savathun is Savathussy is coming back. Working on it. I just want 10. Hey, you know what? Like, shout out to you. Get to level 10. I think, again, here's the thing. I think there is some value in it, and it's like I'm borderline almost wanting to like make another video on it because I do have some revised opinions since like re-ranking to rank 11, but like also like I just feel like we've peaked, or that moment has passed in terms of like the optimal time to kind of post that type of content. You know, sometimes I just put out content that I enjoy because I enjoy it, but I think if we're actually trying to like seriously you know, put something out, I don't think that people care anymore because it's kind of a done deal in terms of the system. Bungie hates change, or you know, just doesn't like change or listening to their community, so it is what it is. These what it is. The only way we can vote now is to vote by just not participating, so that's gonna be me. But yeah, let's listen to this
Relying on Savathun. This is what it's come to.
Tell me you're not serious.
I am. Asa has given us a way to follow the witness. This cannot be the only way.
Everyone in this room understands the risks. But we finally have a path forward. We can't wait for another.
The Empress won't take kindly to this news.
I wouldn't either.
You stand on her counsel. Convince her.
I cannot watch the Witch Queen rise again, Zavala. To scheme against us. To steal another face? No!
She won't be given the opportunity. Eris and Ikora will keep the situation under our control.
Imaru isn't one to be baited into a trap.
Not a trap. A bargain. We're all against the witness. Savathun's ghost has no choice but to cooperate.
I'll convey your decision and assurances to the Empress. Commander, Guardians.
Why is Ikora not here for the decision making though?
We tried to control the Witch Queen before. I saw how that ended, Zavala. It is a treacherous path. When she strays, as I know she will, even one claw.
My fist will be right behind yours.
And also because, like,
hope
you know,
I am
him in the
wrong.
Osiris situation. He's
Right
like,
now,
I'm not trying to see that
don't see
again,
how.
which is like understandable.
Osiris will hear of this. I imagine he will have words too.
And also remember, Osiris still doesn't have his powers
There's a
back.
long night ahead of us. Let's be the beacons others need to follow. At least until we make it through this.
W narration, W storyline. Like I definitely like. Again, I played through this on my Warlock, and I definitely, I guess, like maybe I zoned out, but yeah, just kind of seeing that, like, understandably, Saint 14 is upset because Savathun stole the appearance and kidnapped and took the light from Osiris. So Osiris is just human right now and doesn't, you know, could die at any moment and never be able to come back, which makes obviously Saint 14, his partner, upset. But then also it's just the fact that, like, everyone has these different entry points with Savathun and none of them are good, right? Like sometimes, even with like the example of the Drifter, which we talked about 2 weeks ago at this point, because we didn't stream last week, but like when we're talking about the Drifters, it's like Amanda Holiday's relationship with the Drifter is a lot different than Zavala's relationship with the Drifter, and it's just like everyone's relationships with each other are shifted over time, but like there wasn't just like one way that everyone viewed the Drifter, right? In this example, right? So it was just like some people are like, oh, he's just like a grifter, he's just like a thief, he's a pirate. Other people was like, no, I've actually had relationships with the Drifter or conversation with the Drifter, and he's like a genuine person. That's different because Savathun, everybody hates Savathun. And so like being in a space where it's just like, yeah, everybody, you know, the only thing they're united by is their hate.
We did it,
of
Guardian.
Savathun.
Cut a swath through the Taken and got the intel we needed. The mission is complete. I've waited a long time to say those words. And I used to dread the moment that comes after. But not anymore. I thought I needed the mission to draw my focus.
Yeah, and also Sloane's been
drown
healing
out
through
all
that
the
trauma.
noise.
Like this is an underrated storyline. I ain't gonna
this.
hold you. I know a lot of people are mad at Bungie for
But
other things justifiably, but like
Focusing on it doesn't
genuinely,
mean it
like
isn't there.
this was like a solid
It's a part of me
storyline.
now.
Short, but pretty solid.
I'll carry it with me wherever I go. And that's okay. I'm strong enough to shoulder that weight. Especially if I don't have to do it alone.
Yeah, you ain't gotta do it alone, boo boo.
Asa's
We in this
in
together.
hibernation now. All that strain on our psychic link has
We're all
worn
in
her out.
this together. Okay, I'm done.
Poor girl's earned some time to
know
rest.
that it's on,
She won't be alone either.
and we'll see. Okay.
I'll camp out on Titan and watch over her. Just like she watched over me. That's not to say I'll never return to the tower. When I do, I know there'll be a place for me. And people to welcome me home. Take care, Guardian. And watch your back when you dig up Savathun. If you ever need to punch your lights out, you know where to find me.
Oh yeah, no, everybody's gonna, like, again, because I am curious about like how Savathun, because again, Savathun is never just gonna willingly like give up. So yeah, like I don't know, like we'll see. W storyline though, I really feel like it's super underrated, because it definitely, and understandably so, has gotten overshadowed by Bungie just being really terrible to the community right now. But I think this has been pretty solid. So Sin, appreciate you. I am gonna hop off. I'm gonna do one more bit of content. Again, this is a short stream day. I'm gonna do one more bit of content, doing a little reaction video live with y'all. Shout out. But yeah, no, we're going to get off the games. Oh no, that was actually a pretty okay roll. Sad face. I'm just so used to deleting those because I always get so terrible rolls with those weapons. But yeah, Sin, appreciate you hopping in. I'm gonna hop off of Destiny specifically for the day. We'll game more like game on Friday, but like today was just hop on, create some content with y'all, have some good conversations, hop off because I'm a little bit behind on content creation for this week, and I still haven't done Scattered Thoughts. You know, there's a bunch of stuff I haven't done yet. So seeing that Scattered Thoughts come out on Thursdays and it's Wednesday, and I also have a video planned for Friday, potentially a video for Saturday as well. I just have a lot of editing to do, so not a super long one today. And then obviously work, you know, life, feeding myself, all the things. Somewhere in there, catching up on some of my shows. I've also been watching this random show called Stars on Mars.
I was Saladin's charge.
Honestly, if anyone else is watching Stars, it's so hard to describe. Well, it's not hard to describe. It's a very simple concept, but like, it's hard to describe the feeling I have when I watch that show. And if anybody else, I think it's what is on Netflix. No, it's on Hulu. It's called Stars on Mars, and they take celebrities. They're like kind of like B-list, C-list celebrities. They're not people that are like super famous, but they take like athletes like Lance Armstrong, Marshawn Lynch, Ronda Rousey. Also actors, Ariel Matter, Tom Schwartz, singers, Tinashe. Yeah, and they take them and they put them in like this simulated environment that's supposed to like simulate that they're on Mars, and it's like a social experiment. And I don't know, like it's just very interesting because like you see these people who like very clearly, you know, again, I don't know everyone's lives, but like more than likely have never done manual labor a day in their life. If not, they haven't done manual labor in a long time, and so like they're having to like do these things. I don't know, it's kind of interesting. But anyone watches that show, you have a friend in me to talk about that show, and it's only on episode 3, so there's chance to catch up pretty soon. But yeah, this is not a promo for this show. That show, it's finish it. Set vendor rank. Oh, that's pretty cool emblem. I don't know if I'm gonna do it, but it's pretty cool emblem. Season deep weapons. That's gonna be tough because I hate all the weapons. Season bonuses. Okay, these two are pretty fairly easy, but I don't know. And do I care about the title this season? I don't know. But yeah, we did Lightblade, Fallen Saver, Psyops, Moon, and then Devil's Lair, which is kind of easy peasy. Just taking a solid Void build and you're good. Actually, no, I'll take my Arc build for this one. The Corrupted, which I actually might switch to Void Hunter for this one, just survivability. And also we can take in that Orpheus Rig build that we worked on earlier in stream. I'll fine tune that off stream, or if someone wants to hang out with me in Discord, we can hang out in Discord and we can talk about it there. Just hit me up. And then the Disgraced. Because the Disgrace, I think the Warlock Arc build is probably really good for both of these, just because of ability regeneration and all the different, just crowd control. There's so many ads that can potentially overwhelm you, but it's just like unstop ogres. And then I think anti-barriers in that one. So yeah, I think the arc build is kind of there, and then you just throw on Wishender or Arbalist, and it's a pretty done deal. But I think the Disgrace is next. I don't remember the rotation. The person who used to make the community Grandmaster rotations does not do it anymore for various reasons, and so yeah, I mean, it's kind of a side consequence that now it's not as succinct within the community of what the rotation is, but other people have tried to pick it up, I guess. Anyways, let's close. Ooh, Lord, that's a little bit loud. Okay. All right, so for this last bit of content, again, this is a little bit new for us in terms of the way that we do content. But again, if you want to hang around, and again, I never like beg people to be here. If you want to be here, that's great. If not, you know, a lot of people tend to like duck in and out of the streams. There's also a lot of folks who lurk, but just preparing folks that I'm going to do a quick Be Right Back stream. I'm going to stretch real quick, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do a reaction video live with y'all. So if you all have questions on air, I'll actually answer the questions while we're getting this done. Again, as I said before, I'm really stepping away from being a streamer and stepping into being a content creator, because as much as I enjoy streaming, I don't enjoy streaming, right? And it's just like streaming like 4 or 5, 6 hours for 4 or 5 days a week. I don't have a lot of time to do the actual thing I enjoy, which is content creation. And so thinking of different like memes, thinking about different like short videos, Twitter threads, obviously video essays, all the different things we do. I really enjoy that side of content creation and being able to tell my story and tell the community story through the different content we put out there. But yeah, these streams together are more community facing streams and things where like I'm looking for you all's input and questions and things of that nature. So definitely don't feel shy about bringing up thoughts, feelings, questions, as this is a space where you can like ask me, and then we'll also engage with each other. So I'm sorry, my brain forgot to respond, but yeah, thanks for I meant to say this earlier, but thanks Sin again for joining in and supporting. And then yeah, don't forget to tell your homie K-Pack that, like, you know, I'm like there's no bad blood, there's no beef. You just had to have been up to the storyline in the campaign story. You have to be up to date to be able to join for that mission. So that's a Bungie thing, not a me thing. But cool. Yeah, quick Be Right Back screen, and then we'll get back into it. Okay. Where's the button? All right, there it is. All right, cool. All right, now we're gonna be right back. Cool. Yep. We back. I think we back. We back. We kind of back. If we're on the right stream. Okay. So for what it's worth, I hope folks have somewhat enjoyed the 1 second. All right, there we go. Okay. That should sound a little bit better. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know. Also I'm trying not to like scream at y'all, but if you all have been here for a little bit. Okay. Let me organize my thoughts. Okay. So I appreciate the support. Just to clarify what I was saying before I went on a quick break. I truly appreciate the support. I don't want to come off as ungrateful or anything of that nature. You all have done me such a kindness in terms of how you all have supported over the past year, but really the past like 7 months, 7-8 months where I've really been focused on actually building out content, trying things. Some things didn't work, some things did work, and either way, like we've seen a consistent growth, whether we've succeeded or failed. And on the YouTube channel, I really appreciate everyone. And so even through decisions where I was like, I'm not really going to be streaming on Twitch as much, decisions like going less streams, not more streams, doing a Discord and, trying to like build out the Discord, and like some people are active in Discord, some people aren't, as I'm just trying out and trying to see what works and trying to figure out how best we can build the community together. And yeah, it kind of stinks, sometimes when like a video doesn't get as many views, or when like you kind of post something and it's like, hey, folks want to hang, and then people don't want to hang. It's all a growing process, but also like I'm human and I feel things, and it's just one of those things of content creation through the ups and downs. I'm just gonna keep doing me. I'm gonna keep doing things I enjoy. Obviously, always looking to get better, doing things that are hopefully helpful to the community, and ultimately things that really push me to be better. And so although reaction content isn't the most like, I was gonna say ethical, but that's not it. But although reaction content isn't necessarily like the most like analytical, like very like intensive on like having like a researched assessment and analysis of the situation, I do find that like this is a quicker way, as someone who like tends to like rant, or even when I have scripted videos, I throw in a lot of tangents and examples because I really want to be as clear as possible. Not because I can't get to a point. If I really just wanted to like say something in like 2 minutes, I could. But like for me, that's not being authentic. That's kind of like what people say like a lot of times, like, oh, you're using the YouTuber voice. It's like, sure, there are some things I could say in like 2 to 5 minutes, but like it wouldn't be authentic to me, because like authentic storytelling and engagement to me is actually being a spot where like I'm using my voice and talking the way I talk, not like subscribing to like, oh, and if you do this, then do that and do this. And don't forget to pound that subscribe button. It's like weird. To me, it's weird. Anyways, also slightly stalling, but it's the homie Dahlia. But oh my lord, I keep picking the wrong screen. We're going to react to a recent conversation that happened from a member of the larger Destiny 2 community named Grenader Jake. And yeah. 1 second. What's happening? Hello? Why? Let me play this real quick to make sure this sound's working.
I am not.
Oh my God, that is loud. Dear Lord Jesus in heaven. All right, let's try this.
Destiny. I know that some of y'all will be like, thank God. And
all right, cool. All right, I think that's a little bit better. Again, my philosophy is always like, if it's, I'm not trying to blow your eardrums out, but if it's like louder on your end, you can always like turn the volume down on your end, and then we can adjust from there. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of water real quick and then we'll get started. Cool, cool, cool. Let's give it a second for the recording to boot up. All right. Welcome in, welcome back. If you don't know, I'm about to tell you, but it is Skyy here to talk with y'all and react a little bit about the state of Destiny. If you haven't already been paying attention to the channel, we put out a couple videos, insert thumbnails here, about the community and our kind of thoughts on what's going on right now, especially in the wake of Bungie announcing Marathon the game, and then also just a lot of things that have been going on with Destiny. Again, we have, you know, slightly controversial titles, if you want to call them controversial, but again, they're meant to like draw you in because the content really is about like trying to like see all sides of the story in terms of what's going on with the community right now. So for me, this is kind of adding into that lineage. Again, we're not a React channel, but again, I do think because of everything that's going on in the community, it's really important to kind of weigh in. And what we're going to do today is hear a little bit about Grenader Jake. Grenader Jake is a content creator specifically focusing on PvP with specific focus on trials. And so it does like a lot of trials carries and trials helps. And is really, you know, really big, has a lot of, you know, like has a very large community. And so I don't always get to catch his streams because of my schedule, my work and life schedule, but you know, like, you know, he has a very clear system in his community in terms of like how he engages with them, and then they support him in terms of like, you know, he's able to do like trials carries and help people get flawless, but then also like he has a very unique perspective. And again, while we're reacting today, as our channel is mainly focused on PvE, and we do have that analysis and that expertise. He you know, he does more of the PvP and has more refined analysis on the state of Destiny from that perspective. And so reacting today based on his recent video called I'm Moving On From Just Destiny 2, talking about the future. And so we want to talk a little bit about what he discusses here, and then also how that is a little bit applicable to the change that we are going to be making. Let's go ahead and jump in.
So that some of y'all will be like, thank God, and some of y'all will be like, ah. There's gonna be mixed emotions with that sentence, but I am not quitting Destiny. I am still very ingrained in the Destiny community. I'm very ingrained in the Trials community. And to be totally honest with y'all, I don't know if everyone will agree with this concept, but I feel like I owe it to people in my chat to keep playing Trials. And what I mean by that is I have a carrot currency that is so ingrained in the stream that it would be a little bit almost fucked up. Like, it's still my decision. I could quit if I want to quit. It's still my decision, but it'd be a little bit fucked up for me to be like, chat, hang out in the stream, earn carrots. One day you can guarantee an auction. And then like people start doing that for months and months and months. And I'm like, haha, fuck you. And I just quit forever. Like, that would be a little bit problematic. So
and yeah, just to kind of start off in terms of what Jake is saying here, in the intro is just like, with everything that's going on, a number of creators just as context have also kind of named a very similar attention of just like, it's not necessarily impossible, but it's very difficult for various reasons. And his reason talking about like the commitment that he has to his community for a number of reasons. The Destiny 2 community, like Destiny 2 viewers on like Twitch, YouTube, they really don't like their creators doing other games. Like, there are people who have hundreds if not thousands of viewers on Destiny, but then they do a variety day and play whatever, play COD, play Among Us, play Apex or whatever, and their viewership drops significantly. Like, someone who was pulling in like 200, 300 viewers for Destiny is now only like pulling in like 30 or 40 viewers playing Apex. And it feels kind of punishing in a sense. You know, I think on our frame of reference, we felt it, not to the scale that Grenadier Jake and other large creators have felt it, but definitely felt it, the squeeze, in terms of like when we've tried to do content, especially an example of our content around Scattered Thoughts. I really like Scattered Thoughts, and it was something that like kind of just came out organically out of the content that we we're already making. And like really like adding that to the roster, and to this day still doing it, like we've done weekly episodes for like 26, 27 weeks, right? So like 26, 27 weeks consistently putting out that content, where some weeks it does well, some weeks it doesn't, but people really don't like that, or don't engage with that content as much as they engage with like our guides and our walkthroughs and some of our video essays and other things. So it's like one of those things where it's just like people like what they like and they don't what they don't. And for the Destiny 2 community, it's very challenging to be in a spot where like for creators, especially larger creators, there's like a really real, well it's like whether it's malicious or not, there's a very real like tension that comes with like switching to something that's not Destiny 2. And again, I know it's not Destiny 2, that's the only community that does this, but switching to something that's not Destiny 2 and then trying to like bring your community with you is a challenge. And so Grenadier Jake is essentially just saying that like he didn't want to like fully up and leave Destiny for that reason, but also like feeling a tension and a pressure around just being here.
Destiny main person. I did play Fortnite for a year when Destiny first came out and lost a lot of traction there. So that's what makes it kind of scary, is like, this is my business and my career, right? So the idea of voluntarily losing viewers, losing subs and whatnot is scary. But at the same time, maintaining a good group of people like I have here feels very likely. And that's why I'm excited for it too, is I think the core of the Jungle Squad community will kind of be here supporting me. And that feels so good. Like on Twitter recently, the last week, when I talk about how I'm feeling with streaming and with Destiny, I've just had overwhelming support. I'm starting to get frustrated. And instead of being like, we still got 6 more hours of this, I go on every day. But I might not play for 10, 11, 12. Fun thing at a lot of times over the last
so I'm skipping to the part where
really
he's talking about his shift.
And that feels so good. Like on Twitter recently, the last week, when I talk about how I did, and that feels good, because I think a lot of people know that Destiny has not necessarily been the most fun thing at a lot of times over the last couple years. So
yeah, really Destiny is just like, it's and I think that's one of the things that like a lot of people, it's always interesting when the Destiny community itself actually unites, because we don't unite as a community over a lot of the same things. And I think being in a space where like it's really wild to see how like PvPers, PvEers, like all different sides of the community are coming to a place saying like, yeah, Destiny is not in a good spot. Outside of like the outliers who are like just try hard, die hard, Bungie can do no wrong, which again, you're just really not going to change those people's minds for whatever reason. They just have that deep attachment to Bungie. You have people who are super dedicated, like Grenadier Jake and others, who have created a lot of content over the years, consistently content over the years. And, it's just the reward of playing a game that's broken, that has server instability, that, has cheaters, it just, the reward, it just isn't there like it used to be.
But have just fully committed anyway. And I think people were excited by the fact that I might be willing to diversify a little bit. So not quitting Destiny, I'd still say Destiny at least 50% of the time, because Trials is still going to be out most weekends and I'm still going to want to play Trials every day. But I might not play for 10, 11, 12 hours like I used to. I could absolutely foresee a world in where I stream 5 or 6 hours of Trials and then I swap to a different game for the second half of the stream, which could be so healthy. Imagine 1 p.m. rolls by, we've been doing carries for 6 hours, I'm starting to get frustrated, and instead of being like, we still got 6 more hours of this, I go and hop on a different game. Or during Iron Banner weeks, hi, welcome, it's an Iron Banner week where there's no Trials. Imagine we just don't even touch Destiny the whole week. I'm committing to not playing Destiny a single second this entire week of streaming. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, this game is not getting launched. Not a single time. And that's going to be the first time I've done that since May 2019. This will be the first.
So what Grenadier Jake is talking about here, I don't know why I'm saying like his full name, but what Jake is talking about here is like really huge, and what's something that I really resonate as someone who just like, we recently came out with, not recently, but like 3-4 weeks ago, we came out with our season 20 one roadmap in terms of like what content will look like in terms of what we're going to push out for the YouTube side of the channel this season. And so being in a space where like even I've had to adjust that content roadmap in the past couple of weeks of just like, I'm not going to be streaming as much. I'm not also not going to be streaming as long in terms of like Destiny is building up such a frustration for me at this point where like I want to have fun. I want to game. I want to enjoy myself. I want to have fun with friends. I want to like help people, although we're not like an officially like a server stream. I want to be able to do these things that are like community driven, and being in a space where like I just don't even feel like I can do that given the fact that like the state of the game is so bad. And so, you know, doing what's healthy for me is like, you know, now we're only using our Twitch page for variety content. Now, you know, we're being in a space where we're not streaming as much because those are things that, again, at our level, we're definitely a smaller creator compared to Jake, but also like resonating with the fact of just like, he understands the state of the game and also, you know, understands that he really just can't up and abandon his community. And again, I wouldn't abandon you all in the same way, but also like something has to give. And if Bungie's not going to listen to the community, if Bungie's not going to shift the way that they're approaching the community, if they can't even be more transparent about what's happening with the servers, again, Bungie, we're not asking for your social security number. We're asking you to be a little bit more transparent about what's going on. If they can't even do that when there are Diablo is being very transparent about what's happening with their servers the couple times where they've had instability. EA with Jedi Survivor, you know, like there's so many examples of companies. It's like not out of the norm to be transparent about when your company is having issues, and Bungie just doubling down on just not being transparent is really harming them in the short term, but I promise you it's going to come to bite them in the butt down the road.
First time since May 2019 that I've gone a week of streaming where this Destiny 2 button has not been clicked. And that's crazy. It really is. Like, I have been that dedicated to Destiny that I have not done that in over 4 years. This is such an important moment in my career because my career is not a 8-year career. I'm hoping to continue to stream for a long time. And Destiny 2 is not going to be Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. It's not going to be the game forever, right?
And I think just really quick, I think that's like a really key point, and something that I maybe didn't like emphasize enough earlier, but Jake is such a huge creator. Again, there's a lot of folks who are like really big on the PvP side of the game, but like not only does he have a deep knowledge of the game, which I can always respect, even if I don't agree with someone, not saying I don't agree with Jake here, but like, even if I don't agree with someone or align with someone, I can always appreciate where they actually have genuine, like they put in effort and skill. And so as someone who, you know, speaking about Jake, who not only has like direct experience and deep knowledge of the game on the PvP side, but also has dedicated so much time to playing the game, even if you see in the corner right here, I don't think it's the highest resolution, but it's just like, what is that, like 7,000 plus hours? So you're not talking about someone who just downloaded the game. You're talking about someone who's committed significant amount of resources, time, and energy to not only crafting his community, but also like around this game. And again, no one's, I mean, there might be a couple outliers who are naive, but most folks who are in this content creation space around Destiny 2 aren't like naive that Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 and the Destiny franchise is going to be forever. Yes, it's a live service game. Yes, they've had success, but again, Destiny isn't going to be around forever. That's just not feasible. And so being in a spot where like you have to, especially in a moment like this, you have to be considering other options. And we have examples where there's another creator who maybe like newer Destiny players don't know or aren't as familiar with, but MTash used to be really big in the Destiny 2 creator space. But again, MTash reached his point, you know, I don't want to call it a breaking point, but he reached his point with the community and the way the things that Bungie was handling situations as someone who had been invited to, again, I don't know all the lore behind MTash, but I do know that he was one of the people that had been invited to previous summits and was able to like face to face give Bungie senior leaders like direct feedback on like, hey, this is how you improve the state of the game, was providing, you know, critique and offering solutions, and being in a space where like when he saw there was a trend of Bungie like years ago, just like not really listening to the community, he took his community and left. And again, I believe he still like plays from time to time, but like he's playing like he's like playing like Genshin right now or something, you know, like he took his community and started over. And that's really scary as like, again, we're not in that position currently of like only being content creation as like a job, but someone who's like livelihood, like paying the bills, having drinking water and lights to turn on, depends on you being able to have content. When you have such a diehard community like the Destiny 2 community, who really don't budge on watching anything other than Destiny 2, and then you're just like deuces and you peace out on the game and you try and bring your community to another game, that's super hard. And again, I don't know all the details, but I can imagine that was just a very rough transition. And also just like the consequences, or if we want to call it consequences, but the kind of like wave of what happened in the aftermath is that I just don't see his name come up in the directory as much, like I just don't see, his stuff get recommended on YouTube as much. And so, the things that happen when you like make a shift like that. But again, if you're in a healthier mindset, if you're in a healthier relationship with the game and with your work-life balance, in this case, full-time content creators, if you're in a healthier balance, then like good for you, because ultimately like these games aren't forever. You being able to have like integrity, have your sanity, have your morals is more important than being dedicated to a game that a game and a company that like really isn't respecting your time like they could be.
Right? In order for me to continue to be a successful streamer, I have to be able to demonstrate my ability to play games with an audience outside of one game alone. And we've kind of tested the waters here and there and have proven that that's possible. But to really give it a test and spend a full week doing nothing related to Destiny will be a scary thing, but it will also be a very exciting thing. I'm excited for it because it's sort of like I'm breaking free and liberating myself from the chains that are Destiny 2 and allowing myself to explore other worlds. I want to talk about
and again, one big thing and that I really want to nail down is just like getting the opportunity to create. I really, for me, there's a lot of that what you just said resonates, because it's like the freedom to create what you want to create and exist in a realm where you're like just you're just like living in the moment. You're able to like exist in that flow of like doing things that you enjoy. Like people, like not everybody, but most people aren't getting into content creation because like they're trying to go super corporate and get a deal and do XYZ commercial with like McDonald's or whatever. Some people are, they're just like, they're in it for the quick cash and they want to, figure out the quickest way to get to a corporatized sponsorship deal and then live off that. But a lot of folks are in it because they actually like love the like pure essence of creativity and being in a space where like, what Jake is saying, like not only being able to demonstrate that you have skill and can bring your community across multiple games, but also just genuinely doing things that you enjoy, I think is so important. I think that's why, like, for someone of his caliber to be like, hey, I've reached my limit and it's time for me to move on to something different. It's time for me to try a different path. Even if it's not fully like getting rid of Destiny 2, the fact that like it still means you're drastically shifting your time, that means a lot, especially with his following and the folks, again, not always being in his streams, but I have attended his streams and being in a space where like people, people are dedicated. People are dedicated to the community. And it goes beyond just folks like being in chat to, potentially win a raffle and get a trials help to get flawless, but also like people enjoy their time there, right? They find the entertainment, they find the enjoyment of being there. And for someone of that caliber and influence in the community, be like deuces, not fully deuces, but to be like, I'm shifting gears. For me, Bungie execs, senior leadership need to be, they need to be ringing bells. They need to be having meetings. They need to be having conversations, because this definitely is going to have an impact.
Talk a little bit about the 30-hour thing. Maybe I just get through the entire thing this weekend, which would be really cool. And Diablo and Borderlands, fun place for people to be. So if we're talking about Zelda and Diablo, streamer themselves has that passion for gaming and is loving what they're doing. The fuck, like I want to be enjoying this content, but I think that's super important to understand. When a streamer is diving into the concept of variety, they're doing it for themselves. They're not doing it for you. And that might be shitty to hear at first. You might be thinking like, well, what the fuck? Like, I want to be enjoying this content. But the purpose of even doing variety is to re-spark that passion for gaming in me, in the streamer. And if the streamer themselves has that passion for gaming and is loving what they're doing, that will bleed through to their stream, and then the stream will be a more engaging and fun place for people.
And if I can like double down on this, I think that is so true. Like for folks who have been hanging out for the variety streams we've been doing on Twitch, again, we keep all of our Destiny 2 content and our Bungie content on the YouTube channel. But for folks who joined us on Twitch, I don't know if y'all like can tell, but I can tell within me when I watch my VODs back, but I am so much more like energized, you know, like it's not just like the, you know, like the scene or the game or that, you know, we're playing different music, but I feel so much more energized when I'm in a space where it's just like, even like Lies of P, we're playing the Lies of P demo and being in a space where like that's my first Souls-like game. I was terrible at it. It was super frustrating, but I was having a blast because like, you know, the few of us who were in the stream at the time just like were able to have really cool conversations. It was a different change of pace with the type of games, and also just being in a space where it's just like that passion for gaming, that passion for like solving riddles and solving puzzles and figuring out different strategies and thinking about build crafting in a different setting other than Destiny 2. All that just like, just like my brain was so moist, like it just, you know, all the synapses were firing. It was just like really fun for me, and it's been fun for me in terms of like we have our scheduled Destiny 2 streams for the YouTube channel, which we still do, and we're being consistent with that. But the times I get to like break away and actually do other games, whether it's been Apex, again, there's been a lot of games, but Apex, Jedi Survivor, Biomutant, Stray, Call of Duty, I'm trying to think of all the games. There's been so many games, right? Farlight 84, like there's been so many different games where it's just like just being able to like experience different gameplay loops, all that like just activates my brain in such a really beautiful way. And I can't go back. I want to have fun with gaming. I want to have fun with content creation, and you know that's also part of the journey of learning what you will and won't compromise for. And I found out recently, especially with all this that's going on with Bungie, and I've been shifting my mindset to other games, I'm not willing to compromise not having fun in a game. I need to have fun in a game. I need to be able to enjoy this game with friends and family and community members, and I'm just not willing to compromise that.
To be. So if we're talking about Zelda and Diablo and Borderlands and God of War and Fortnite and all these different games I might be testing out over the next couple of months, there's going to be games I mentioned that some of y'all are like, fuck that. But please understand the idea behind it and where it comes from. I want to get into like where we are in Destiny's world and in Bungie's world and kind of talk about why I'm making this decision. Because let's be totally honest here for a second. Like, let's just lay all the cards on the table. Full transparency, like not gonna hide anything from you realistically. I have an amazing opportunity to continue to make a lot of money if I just keep playing Destiny. I've been playing Destiny for a long time. I've built a huge following in Destiny. Even if I was getting stream sniped and cheated on and fucking Trials was a disaster, if I just stay in the Destiny directory and pour 12 hours a day into it, I'm gonna make a lot of money. And it's hard to not want to do that. It's hard.
And I feel like this is like a really point, and I'm gonna let the rest of this play so Jake can finish the point. But I think that is so key. Again, going to like me coming out with like a statement about like me shifting only does so much, and it like has impact on our immediate community. But like someone at the level of like any time that like you go on Twitch and it's like a Trials weekend, look at the Twitch directory. Look at who's at the top, and obviously there's other PvP creators, again, not like necessarily like discounting their work that they put in, but like Jake is consistently at the top of the directory whenever it's a Trials weekend, and to know that he has literal thousands of people watching him in his chat, actively in the chat. We're not talking about like people like silently like watching, like people are active in his chat. There's all different kinds of commands and things that he does. Has a really engaging stream. Again, I don't always get to catch it because I'm either creating content myself or I'm like, you know, I'm modding for a friend stream. You know, I play a lot of different roles in the community, but like the streams where he's in there, like he's really engaged with the community. And to see someone at that level who literally does pour like 10, 11, 12 hours a time into this game, them shifting in a way where it's just like he understands very clearly that if he just wanted to go with the status quo, then yeah, like he could just like sit there and stream, you know, the norm, not enjoy it, but sit there and probably still be successful for the lifespan of Trials and Destiny and the franchise and wherever it goes, especially, you know, post marathon. But like being in a space where like he knows that and still is just like, I gotta shift something.
Hard to, because if I go away from it, I risk that. Today we're doing great. Y'all are supporting me so much and I love that. But realistically, let's say I committed to playing other games for a full month. Each day we're probably going to lose some of those subs, some of those viewers, some of those hype. Today it doesn't look like it, but as somebody who's been doing this for 8 years, I recognize that it's easy for an announcement like this to generate excitement, and that excitement can bleed off over time. And who knows what this looks like in a month. I hope that if I did just play other games for a month, which I'm not planning to do, I'm still going to play Destiny. But if I did just quit Destiny altogether, I would hope that this kind of community would continue to exist. But there's no guarantee of that at all. It could keep chipping away every day as I stray away. So the idea of stepping away from Destiny is a very financially scary decision. But the reason I feel like it's really important is because I have lost the fucking spark that I once had in Destiny.
And that's where like, yeah, I just want to pause because like absolutely samesies, because like the spark that I've had for Destiny for so long, and again I've seen over the years people kind of like burn out on Destiny, and I never really understood it, or like I understood it, but I sympathize with it, but I couldn't empathize because I just couldn't compute like how would you not love this game. Like I used to be one of those people who was like, Bungie is perfect, and again, this was before I was creating content, but like I really, even though I may never have said it out loud, I was just like, yeah, Bungie can do no wrong. Like these DLCs slap, these seasons slap, the soundtrack slaps, you know, all the different things. I used to be one of those people. So like for those people who are still in the outliers, I empathize to a degree, because like I can have enough integrity and honesty to say that I used to be one of those people, you know, with previous like iterations of like enjoying the game, being in a space where it's like I came into the game. It was, again, one of these days I'll just create the video, but like I didn't have the greatest experience when I first came to the community. I unfortunately encountered a very toxic side of the community, and so it almost drove me away from the game. But then I found some really cool people who were actually like cool people, and like, you know, like showed me that there are other people in the game and it wasn't just like super toxic. And to have that connection point, like feeling very deeply, some of those people I still know, even though if we don't, you know, necessarily game every day, I still get to be connected to those people, and being in a space where it's just like there was a spark there that just lasted, because I was like, yes, friendship is the true end game. I've met some really dope people that I can consider friends, not just like acquaintances, friends. And being in a space where like that creates kind of like a mental bond with this company and with this game, and kind of like having the, you know, starry-eyed glaze, you know, or whatever the phrase is, but you know, like you're just the starry-eyed look at this company. But then like as time goes on and you mature and you kind of look at different perspectives and you get more information, your analysis shifts, and being a spot where like I feel like I've lost the spark. Do I enjoy coming in here and talking with all of y'all, whether it's Sin, Slade, Femi, you know, like all the people who come in here, and we're Nini, you know, we're able to like come in here and game and have a good time. Absolutely. I love that. Like that, the spark is still there for that. But like just coming in here and not being with homies and not being with friends and just like trying to play the game is so rough, because I just don't have it in there. Even like moments like early on stream today, before we started to do this reaction video, we were talking about the narrative storyline for the last week of the seasonal story, and like it's decent. It's actually hella decent. We're talking about like a 7, 8 out of 10. Like it's a solid story. But because Bungie's been treating the community so poorly and just ignoring us and just not having a lot of integrity right now, it really sours the overall experience. And for me, to this point, it really sours the spark, where it's just like, I would love to sit here and say that I'm excited about the story and the things that we've learned, and there's been a lot of Easter eggs and also a lot of like really big reveals, but like those moments don't outshine the negativity that the community has been feeling from Bungie, and that takes its toll and dulls the spark that you can have for a game like this.
Probably there's a lot of people wondering, How the hell did it take this long? People lost that spark so long ago. I've had so many people tell me in chat, in DMs, face to face, I don't know how you do it. How do you stay in trials for 40 to 50 hours every week through every meta for 3.5 years now? I don't know how you fucking do it. And to be completely honest with you, I've actually enjoyed 80 to 90% of it. The whole trials raffle thing where I bring raffle auction thing where I bring in a new viewer via raffle, bring in a new viewer via an auction, and then I have that goal of trying to get them flawless and everybody in chat can follow that goal. It's such an easy thing for me to stream because it keeps me entertained. It keeps the chat entertained. It's such a well-oiled machine that realistically it's kind of easy to do. When you do variety, you've got to decide, all right, I got to try this game, that game, that game. You got to kind of schedule it. You got to try to learn these games, which is difficult to do. Whereas that was like a well-oiled machine I kind of created that was super easy to keep going. But we've hit a...
And I think that's really like key is just like really hitting the point home. He does not have to, like, someone as successful as him, someone with a following that he does, he literally for the rest of Destiny's life cycle does not have to change the model that he currently has been using in terms of the engagement in chat, in terms of the people who show up. Literally, like when you're just easily just click go live and thousands of people are there eager to like engage with each other, like other community members in chat, but also engage with him, and then doing the raffles. Like why would you actually shift away from that when it's literally, you know, kind of to frame it as like easy money? Why would you shift away from that process to go to something that's more challenging, like variety content, where like you're going to do like maybe a Horizon Forbidden West stream and maybe a lot of people join, but then maybe you do a God of War stream and people are like not there and it's crickets, right? And so as someone, again, who's not in Jake's position, because Jake is full-time content creator, it depends on this to actually like pay his bills and support, you know, his loved ones and the people that he supports. Making a shift like that, potentially, even if people are excited right now, which you kind of said earlier, even if people are excited in the meantime, and again, it's similar but not same, where I feel like after I made the announcement of my being YouTube partner, saw subscribers go up, I got more followers on Twitter. Like there's a lot of like energy that we had for like those 2 weeks, I would say. You know, I even saw like more views on some of my recent videos, and I really appreciate that, and that's great. And you know, people always, you know, for the most part, people love good news. But like also it's dwindled over time where it's just like we're kind of back to the same crew of folks, which is fine. I love y'all. There's no downsides to that. But where there's like people and there's like new people coming into streams, it was like a really good time where like I always appreciate the support however folks show up, but also like that phenomena of like the roller coaster, the ups and downs, the peaks and valleys is like really real. Is like when there are like certain moments, whether it's like a partnerversary or like there's a certain celebration, like you'll see like people get re-engaged and come in. It's like a birthday stream, and that's all, you know, all those moments. Not really talking about each of those specific instances, but the moments, you know, talking about the larger thing are great. But also, you know, over time, you know, to no one's fault, people have life, people have kids, for, you know, people get disinterested, you know, it dwindles off, and it's just such a big risk to be in a space where it's just like, even at my level, even though I don't fully depend on content creation in this moment, full time as like, you know, paid gig, you know, that's not my core source of income. Being in a space where like I would love to have the opportunity to do that, maybe like down the road, and making a shift from like this game with such a dedicated base that really doesn't budge to other games, even people who were like typically like hundreds or thousands of people in their streams for Destiny 2 and are sick of Destiny 2 right now and are playing Diablo, they're not pulling in the same numbers, right? They're building like new members from like the Diablo scene, but like Destiny 2 players really aren't converting over, and it does have an impact.
Out after the big Lightfall release, it had a thing called fire team based matchmaking, which worked so well. But it is so exciting to have the jungle squad behind my back. Guy, like genuinely there are people like that, but there's some really loyal Destiny fans, really excited for me to break away from the chains that are streaming Trials of Osiris, are excited for me to go into other games. They're excited for me to break away from the chains that are streaming Trials of Osiris relentlessly with no objections. Like, people are excited. And I know that there's some people who aren't commenting and aren't here in the stream today who are frustrated because there's some really loyal Destiny fans, really loyal, who are like, he's not going to keep streaming Destiny only. Like, fuck this guy. Like, genuinely, there are people like that. But
and it's true. That's not an exaggeration. There are people like that in the community who are genuinely like, if you're not streaming Destiny, whether you're like a service streamer or not, right? And Jake is a service streamer, you know, mainly for PvP and trials. But like, even if you're not like a service streamer, like people will legitimately like, even if you take a be right back stream, a scene like too long, is like, hey, I need to go like grab something to eat, I'm about to pass out, people will leave. And again, it's not the majority, but there are those diehard viewers like that, whether it's just general viewers or in particular Destiny 2 community. And so like this is a big change, and like knowing that Jake has such an influence and is not the only person making this shift, yeah, it's a lot, y'all. I know I keep saying that, but it stands out, especially to someone like me who's on the PvE side of the game, and a lot of folks don't always, from both sides of the game, really don't always like communicate or really view each other's content. I'm just one of those people who likes to view all content from all sides of the game, and knowing that there's this shift that's happening with PvP creators and PvE creators, yeah, Bungie should be worried.
I am overwhelmed by the amount of people who are in the other side of it, who are saying, good for you, we'll be here whatever you play, we're excited for this next step. It's so cool. It's terrifying because I'm not a variety gamer, and stepping out of your comfort zone is not a fun or not an easy thing to do. But it is so exciting to have the Jungle Squad behind my back, supporting me and pushing me, realistically pushing me, like straight up urging me to do this. Encouraging me to do this. It's so cool. I'm so grateful. I'm so happy. I'm going to try to start reading chat a little bit better because I've been in like rant mode and not reading chat. I want to answer questions and try to talk through things I might have missed because I just spoke for 25 straight minutes without.
So Jake kind of ends up there and then goes into some questions, which we won't cover in the moment because I think you all get the kind of gist of what's going on. But yeah, like shout out to Jake. Shout out to anyone who is. It's not even necessarily like about getting liberated from Bungie, because it's like Bungie's a corporate company. They're going to do what they're going to do, right? Like they're not this independent company that everyone wants to like cape for. They're not. They have literal billions of dollars. They monetize like literally 90% of the game. They're not broke. They're not hurting for money. They may spend a lot of money on like different ventures and working on different games, but they're not broke. And I really feel like this is one of those moments where you have to wake up and stop treating Bungie like they're broke, like they're just this small company. They're not a small company. And each week they're becoming more and more corporatized, less about, you know, being driven and listening actively to the community, and being in a space where you have creators at this level who, you know, have a following, who are building strong communities, and who are saying that, like, you know, I'm making a shift because, you know what, at the end of the day, if this is your, especially as full-time folks who are full-time content creators, if this is your sole, if not primary source of income, and the game is dwindling, literally, even this week, on Tuesday, we said the biggest, you know, day for Destiny 2 gaming. Also, it's one of the most, you know, pivotal days in terms of our storyline so far, in terms of the cutscene that we got for this being the final week of the story. We're barely cracking 10,000 people viewing. Whereas normally there could be 30, 40, 60, 70, 80,000 people viewing, if not more, you know, on Twitch specifically, viewing content at a time. We're barely cracking 10,000 people. I don't even think it cracked 10,000 viewers on Twitch. Not to mention last week, and there was a content creator who captured a screenshot of it, they could barely hold 3,500 viewers. They could barely capture that many people. Again, you're talking about on Twitch, there were 6 million people that follow the Destiny. Specifically on Twitch, there are 6 million people who follow the Destiny loop gameplay or whatever, right? They follow that footage. So there are 6 million people who get the notification or get the little directory index when people are streaming Destiny 2. And to note that you could last week barely pull in 3,500 people of the 6 million, Obviously 6 million people aren't all on at all times, but you could barely pull in that. And in this week, you barely pull in 10,000, like on the peak day, on the day with like the juiciest storyline content that we've had in a while. It says something. And then you have content creators like this who are leaving or fully leaving, or in Jake's case, partially leaving and doing variety content. It says a lot. And for me, I just continue to not see Bungie taking this seriously. And again, if you want to, you know, from their perspective, if they just want to sit on their high horses and do what they keep doing and thinking that's going to work out for them in the long term, you can. But my money is that it's not, and it's going to backfire. It's going to blow up in their faces. And ultimately, when you've lost your reputation, I said this in one of my recent videos, when you lose your reputation with your community, there's like, what was it? Like New York Times has come out with the article. Don't quote me on that, but it was like a big magazine has come out with articles. There's like gamer magazines who've come out with articles. Like, people are noticing how poorly Bungie is handling this current situation. And once your reputation is gone, you're basically done for. And so regardless of how well Marathon and other titles that they're working on do, this is having a detrimental impact on their brand. And until they make right by the community, until they make right by folks like Jake and myself who have committed a significant amount of time, resources, and energy into this game, into building community, into like creating content, into like, again, and creating content helps further the brand. People who have committed such level of effort and just not being respected, yeah, it's all bad. So that's where I'm going to leave it for today. Would definitely love to hear from folks in the comment section, or things that like folks are like resonating or didn't resonate. But yeah, this is just my live reaction. I know we skipped around a bit for those who are following along, but just really wanted to hit the points in terms of like where I see Jake and the movement, and appreciate, you know, the transparency he had offered in his space, but also like seeing the parallels that like I'm reaching a similar point. Like, I am fully anticipating that the August showcase is going to blow everyone out of the water. Like, you literally can't name the last time Bungie had a terrible teaser trailer or a terrible hype trailer. They are great at making those things. So like, I fully anticipate they're going to come out in the August showcase. They're going to be like, this is the final shape, K6, cool stuff, boom, boom, or whatever, you know, whatever else they're going to show us. And people are going to get hype. People are going to insta forget that Bungie has been terrible to us over the past months and years, and buy themselves some grace period and some goodwill. But ultimately, if they're not fixing the core of how they engage with the community, if they're not fixing the game itself, if they're actually not like trying to be transparent and honest and have integrity with the way they communicate, it's not going to go well, and the game's just going to continue to go on a downward path. And so that's where I stand with it. But again, if you feel differently, if you're like one of those like Bungie can do no wrong people, let me know in the comments. Let me know what I'm missing, because like I truly just don't see a light at the end of the tunnel with where this is going. And for me, I've lost the spark to play Destiny 2 for hours on end. I'd rather just spend that time creating content for other games. I'd rather spend that time modding for my friends who are streamers. I'd rather spend that time in 101 different ways than spend it on a game that doesn't value my time, energy, and commitment. And ultimately, it's coming from a company that is not listening to the community that got it to the place that it's in right now. The community got Bungie to where it is right now, where they can get a 3.6 billion acquisition from Sony. The community did that, not Bungie. And let me be very clear, maybe that sounds like off-putting to some people. I don't care. The community did that. Bungie did not do that alone. And for that commitment and energy and time to not be respected, and for us to be in a space where we're continually not being listened to, I'm not sitting here saying that Bungie has to, like, every time someone has a complaint, like, Bungie just shifts immediately. But when you're seeing, like, all sides of the game come together and say, like, this is really messed up, this doesn't feel good, and Bungie still can't even come out in a weekly blog and say, like, hey, we'll do better, that feels incredibly bad. And yeah, I'm tired. And I'm going to play other games, and I'm going to go to where the spark is with me, and I'm hopefully, you know, you all are invited to come along with me in that journey. You know, Starfield, really excited about Starfield. Starfield is dropping in September. You know, recently played Jedi Survivor. You know, like we played God of War before. Like there's so many things where it's like I'm gonna continue to do my best to build community and bring y'all with me and just have a space that y'all would enjoy. You know, we'll still cover, you know, Destiny 2. We'll still do the things, and we'll log in, do like the weekly missions. But like I just really don't see us committing as much time and energy to a game, to a company that just doesn't respect us anymore. And, you know, again, we're not as big as Jake and other creators who have made this shift. But as we continue to grow our small but mighty community, I'm really excited to bring y'all with me in my adventures, because gaming is such a portal to like so many great things, to self-awareness, to like learning about yourself, to like gaining new skills, figuring out how to be a better communicator. There's so many different things that you get from gaming, and I just can't waste my time and that potential for gaining those experiences in a space that just won't allow me to have fun, and won't allow me to have fun with you all, won't allow me to grow, and just overall just not a great place to be. So let me know in the comments what you think. Am I totally off base? Do you totally agree? And yeah, let's get into some conversations. And as usual, looking forward to seeing y'all Starside. Peace. All right. Oh wait, y'all can't hear the clapping emoji, the clapping sound effects. Lamau. All right, let's turn the music back on. So many things are not working today. Sad face for me. Sad face for me. Yeah, let's turn the music back up. All right. All right. So I appreciate folks for hanging in there. I know it was a little bit differently. I'm gonna cut that up a little bit. Get that out sometime soon, and yeah, we'll try it out. We'll see how folks react. We'll see how folks react to the reaction. We'll see how folks like or dislike the content, and kind of go from there. But it's just something I personally wanted to do because I feel like so much resonated. At this moment right now, I don't feel like super compelled to like come out with my own "this is what I feel" video, but like this is how I feel, and I feel like it resonates very much in terms of where I'm at, and you know, how I'm feeling about what comes next in this content creation journey. I'd like to be here for the long haul. I'd like for you to come with me. I understand if folks are like, it's Destiny 2 or nothing. You know, that's your stance. I can't change that. But if you're a part of the Cloud Commune, if you're part of this community, I hope this is a space where we can like literally, you know, as our slogan goes, game, learn, go. Do I still have that in my scene? I think so. Yes, there we go. Look at the bottom. Game, learn, grow. And so I truly mean that. I really want to have that space for folks to game, learn, and grow. And you know, I invite you with me. I invite you. I'm not, you know, that's all I can do. I can't force anybody to come along with the journey. If you only want to watch Destiny 2 content, that is totally valid, and that's up to you. But as we explore other games, as we do other things, I hope that folks can be a part of the journey where we're going to game, learn, grow in whatever game we're playing. And I want to be able to share that experience with you. So we'll keep working, keep getting better, we'll keep growing, and you know, we'll do what we can while we can, and enjoy the time that we have with each other. Again, a little bit shorter stream, but we will be back on Friday. Hopefully my mixer and everything else actually wants to work with OBS this time, and you'll hear all the great sound effects that I thought you all could hear earlier, but clearly could not. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't want to get too rambling, but thank you all for your time. You are seen, you are loved, you are appreciated, you are enough. And if nobody else got you, the Cloud Commune got you. So we'll see you all next time. Your time is the most precious thing you can give anyone, and I'm grateful that you are spending your time with us here. Thank you. Peace, love. Talk to you later.